All right, this match review comes to us from Daddy. Daddy, no. As 1,362 hours. There's no spring chicken to this game. A lot of hours under their belt. So they are not a novice. They definitely have some sort of idea of what's going on, and yeah, has some sort of I wouldn't say prestige, but awareness and lock on the game. Playing Pig on Had No Fun, which is this is a lot of this will probably not be your fault because I don't know. Haddonfield is both simultaneously a very survivor-sided map and a very killer-sided map at the same time. And it's just kind of ugly for everybody because the middle of the street is darn near empty and very, very hard for people like survivors to deal with, and it's terrible. But the houses, including the main building, are abysmal. Even if you are an M2 killer, they can be pretty rough to deal with, much less an M1 killer like Pig. So, like, a lot of this will probably be not your fault because just looking at the map, but we will see. We will see. Take a gander at your add-ons and builds. Okay, rule set number 2 and created gears. That's fine. That's fine. That's a good add-on choice. That's a good add-on choice. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Honestly, that's okay. Very good build I'm looking at. So you have pop pain res, or not pop pain res, but people call it hook pop, so I call it pop sometimes, hook pop. Skirt, so you have pain res and jolt. So all of you're an M1 killer, so all of your downs will be M1s. So jolt's great. And you will be jolting gens nearby with jolt, and then affecting gens far away with pain res. Very smart. Stabiffle, probably one of the not even probably. I will outright say Stabiffle is the strongest non-slowdown perk in the game, and you as Pig have an M2 that allows you to circumvent hitting the obsession with your M1, so good pick there. Ku is the kind of the fun pick. Ku is kind of your fun pick here. Frankly, this is probably your odd one out, though, because it is the fun pick. If you wanted to make your build a little bit more beefy, I would put some info here, like surveillance, barbecue, or maybe even a third slowdown. Something like that will probably go well here. If you're looking for something to make your build a little bit stronger, this would be the perk I would omit and put something else in replace. Oh, that, yeah, this works. I used to also have my my power bound to M4. It's interesting. That's just weird. I used to do that too. Somebody nearly runs into you, which is very unfortunate for them. Okay, you get it. It would have been better if this was not your obsession. I found here... Okay, never mind. She's running the wrong way. It's like, they make that window most of the time, and I just followed after them, but like, he went out into the garden for some reason. Wow, she is running this poorly. You should be able to get her here. You're kind of doubling back way too much. You need to just commit to a side. Yeah. Oh no, you could have got her there. You could have had her there. You actually had that. Once you committed to a side, if you lunged there, you would have hit her. This, like that second, like this second, believe it or not, that hits. Believe it or not, that hits. This right here, like if you had followed her down and lunged, she would have maybe got pallet vacuum. Maybe. But that's, most of the cases, that's a hit. And you should have at least swung at it. Oh, well, you get her anyway. You did not need to drop that. That's interesting. Oh, you didn't know. You didn't know. That's okay, you didn't know. A little small thing you can do is if you see flashlights in the lobby, and you know that, like, flashlights are around, but you know, you're not sure if somebody's around, instead of looking around, just, like, spin. Just spin when you pick up. It's like a really dumb, silly thing that works more often than you think. Just spin before you pick up. They'll just be like, what? Why are you looking the other way? Like, they'll get mad. Well, I don't pay attention to lobby? You should be paying attention to lobby. You hear somebody working upstairs and she's running you on... Okay, well, she's not going to continue running you on main. Oh, that's unfortunate. That should have been a free hit. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't follow her all the way over here. You're a little too, like, swing happy. Yeah, you're way too swing happy. You need to, like, cool it. Like, cool your jets. Oh, was this recorded before the buff? I just noticed you only have one stack. Oops. No, wait. Oh, you already swung. Okay, never mind. You already used one. That's mine. Yeah. I'm about to say, because Nick Cage is there, so that's not it. You're like, yeah. So, like, one thing I'm going to tell you right away, spoilers is going to be one of your takeaways, is like, you just, like, I get that you're an M1 killer, but, like, you're trying to, like, mind game so much. Like, you're, like, when you get to a loop, you're like, I'm going to switch sides, I'm going to switch sides, I'm going to switch sides, I'm going to switch sides. And you're, and there's to a certain extent that's somewhat good because you're, like, shaving down a little bit of time each time. By cutting down the distance slightly, but at a certain point, if you do it too much, kind of like what you're doing, you're kind of like wasting more time than it's worth. Than if you just like W keyed at them and had them smack the pallet in your face and kicked it. And obviously, you know, once that stops working, you start just like swinging. You're just kind of like, you just kind of start like. I would have gone for her there, because she's not at a loop. Yeah. This Rebecca has wasted too much of your time. 2 gens are gone. Nia's to your right. And she's not by a pallet or anything. I know she's your obsession, but you can just M2 her using your dash. This is still fine. This is not bad. Yeah, definitely had him. It sucks that she got her hat off so quickly. Good job looking around this time. Good job looking around this time. You can hear her. I think she's up in the house. At least that's what it sounds like. Nia has a beamer too. Yeah, she's up in the house. Yeah, she's up above. Trying to do that Batman save. You're wasting a lot of time here. Yeah. You used the tree! You used the tree! That's hilarious. I can't believe that worked. That is legitimately so funny. That's cute. Tree saved of the day! That's funny. Good job actually getting some uses out of your pain rest. Yeah, I would go for her. You're not committing to either. It seems like you have a lot of like downtime this match of just like not committing to much of anything. Like, you're not committing to one chase or the other, you're not committing to one side of a loop. Like, it's just like... a little bit more decisiveness seems to be something that would help you. Because, like, you're not going for him or her, which means... because right now, this may not seem like, okay, well, there's 2 people here. So I'm pressuring a bunch of people, like, at the same time. But realistically, what's happening is this Fong Mean that you're not seeing is on a gen somewhere, just doing all the gens while you wait here. So, you gotta keep that in mind, too. And Nia may just decide to go get on that gen anyway. Yeah, you should be able to... oh, there's a pallet here. Yeah. So now, all that was nothing, right? Like, all that I'm gonna stand around the hook and just hang out, kind of, like, didn't result in anything. Right? That was just a waste of time at the end. I see what you're... oh, hey, that actually... he should have been paying attention. He should not have let that work. Good to slug. Good to slug here. You need some extra pressure, because you're at 1 hook at 3 gens. You're trying to get a little bit extra pressure here by slugging. This is a very good loop to dash at. Take the pallet control, good. Dash one way or the other. She leaves the loop, which is a smart play. But now she can't flashlight save. So... yeah, you played that well. Fortunately, they already have another gen. I would have chased her there. But so you don't really have any, like... it's not like you have pop or anything. You don't have to, like, stick around this area. I would kick that. you're kind of like pseudo proxy camping every single hook, and I'm not sure why you're doing that. Proxying hook is a good tool if like the whole team is nearby, or like they're close to death, or they're close to their next hook stage. You kind of have been proxying every single hook. I don't know if you've noticed that, but you don't leave hook like most of this match. And I'm not sure why that is. Because it's not really benefiting you, because you're not gaining extra stages, you're not getting anybody killed. You're just sitting around hook, and then they get unhooked before something bad happens anyway. And when you have perks like you do, which are all about getting out there and hitting people, like every single one of your perks is based on getting out there and hitting people. You're not getting out there and hitting people, you're just sticking put. If you had like Corrupt, Deadlock, perks that like go off in the background without your input, it'd be probably a more sound strategy, but all your perks are based off of like actually going out there and, you know, having chases, and you're not having those, which is why you're kind of getting, like all the gens are getting done, is because everything about your build and your perks are all about chase, and you're not chasing. Staying close to the hook thing is pressure. Yeah, and it is, if you're going to get them to a next stage, an extra hook stage, if you are going to get them killed. But what you're doing, because like it's going to take him 60 seconds to go to death from his second stage, right? And what you've been doing in every single one of these hooks is you've been hanging out for like 30 or 40 of those seconds, and then you finally decide to go, I'm going to go chase and actually do stuff now, and then somebody slides in that last 20 seconds and basically makes it null and void. All that sitting there that you did. At this point, this is the right play, because you've... I'm trying to think of a nicer way to play it, but essentially thrown for this, right? You have Innocence thrown. So, I would pick her up, hook her, and then go get Nick dead. I mean, she's against a wall, or she was. Now she's not. She was against a wall. You were literally... It was impossible to be flashlight saved there. Flashbang saved? Maybe. Flashlight? No. You let this Rebecca just kind of like... Yeah, now she's over the pallet, so you can't even pick her up. There's that coup value. This Rebecca's probably freaking out right now. Like, whoa! Whoa! Either she's really like her, or she's got coup. She went for the Charles Johnson. You gotta respect it. You gotta respect that she went for it. Gotta respect that she went for the Charles Johnson. Now, after this, I would definitely go find, Nick, if you would. Go find Nick Cage. Because he's your death hook gamer. You desperately need pressure at this point. Good thing is he has his hat on and it's active. So, like, you can find him on... You know he has to go to boxes. He has to go to boxes. So you know where he will likely be. He could be in any of these boxes, but he has to go to a box. Because all these people have hats. Like, you could sit here and camp them, but they all have hats. They're going to be active when last gen goes anyway. Like, it's not like them being unhooked saves them from that situation. You have pressure on them. Like, they're in a sense being pressured off hook anyways by the fact that they even have hats on. You don't have to actually, like, be there to pressure them off hook by going and chasing them. They already have to go do something. I mean, hit her. You have Stabiffle. You have Stabiffle, just hit her. You have Stabiffle. You have 8 stacks of Save the Best for last. Hit her. You'll recover in like half a second. Just hit her. Yeah, I would have just hit her. Yeah, this is your main problem. You just want to proxy every hook this entire game, and you end up just wasting a bunch of time. And then she had Addy. Yeah. Oh, I got the BM there. Yeah, because now they're all going to leave and heal up. Nick Cage got his hat off, healed up without any sort of contention. Why do you open the gate? Why? You don't have Blood Warden, there's no reason to do that. Yeah, she just leaves. Which is the right play. That's why her M2 dash is not very good. It's kind of very easily defeated by just holding W away from the loop. Which is why it's not that great. That's why I was telling in the last match review, like crouch and roar just to check them, see what they do. Because if they're a W keyer, you can just know that without even having to do anything. She also had, yeah, there's the lack of commitment again. Pressure for them? No, you would typically want to keep the gates, like, unless you have Bloodborne, you typically want to keep the gates shut. Like, there's kind of no reason to open them. Yeah, that guy should be dead. Nick Cage should be dead. But he got to actually leave the match. Well, the good thing is you know where these two are. You don't know exactly where they are, but they gotta be on one of these hats. On one of these hat boxes. Yep, there's her. Got a little excited again. There you go. She DCs, like, she whooped you guys. Wait, why do you drop her? Wait, why did you drop her and not hook her? You could have still hooked her and then went and searched the other boxes. Fire Rebecca before she gets her hat off? There was a hook right there. There's a hook literally right here. Like, literally you walk 6 more meters and you hook her. So you gave up that to go find her when she already got her hat off. Like, yeah, you had to walk like 6 more meters and you actually, like, you had a hook there. Becca have Addie? She did. Yeah, she makes it out anyway. Bad judgment? Well, that's okay. It's good that you know that. It's good that you know that, you know? Better than a lot of match reviews I get where it's like, hey, I got an easy 4K. I'm like, cool, I can't really help you, you know? Yeah, the bot doesn't know to crawl to the gate. It doesn't know what to do, so it's just gonna die. Poor bots. Bots are OP though. The bots are too smart. Bots are bad. Grr. Homie didn't even know to crawl to the exit gate. But yeah, bots are too strong. Smile. Okay, so for this one, their perks don't really matter. Because you honestly, and I know, I have seen you play better than this. I mean that as a compliment. I know you're capable of way better. Way, way, way better. Most of this was, like you said, it's mindset. You got flustered, and a lot of things went wrong in here that were below your play level. Which is, you know, I know it's like a backhanded compliment, but it is a compliment. Like you played below what I know you're capable of. The main thing, obviously talking about your main takeaways here. Your main thing and the thing that caused you to lose the match is, like, you did not get what the point of proxy camping as a tool is. You have 3 catch-up tools. I call them catch-up tools. You have 3 catch-up tools as killer to when a match is not going your way. You have tunneling, you have camping, you have basement. Those are the 3 things you can do to bring the match back if you're losing by like a landslide, like you're losing by a lot. These are the ways you can very, very quickly come up with a lot of like sudden pressure out of nowhere. And you chose camping. That was the one you chose. You said, I'm gonna camp. I'm gonna proxy camp. But this is how proxy camping, like the tool of why you use proxy camping is to secure the next state of a hook stage. That is what you use it for. That is what it is for. it would be kind of a different situation if like all 3 survivors were there and all 3 survivors were trying to get to the hook. Then you know for sure nobody is doing gens. It's a different story. But not everybody on the team was there. So, like I was telling you mid-match, when somebody sits there for a minute, what you were doing is you were hanging out for like the first like 40 seconds of their stage, and then you would go away. So you weren't getting those extra stages. You weren't getting a second hook stage. You weren't getting, you know, death. You essentially weren't getting any value out of the proxy camping. It was essentially as if you essentially could have just parked yourself there at the hook, went AFK, let them get the hook saved, and it would have been the exact same effect as what you did. You could have parked pig at the hook, went and got a soda, went and got a sandwich, come back, and you're like, oh, they unhooked them. And it would have been the exact same effect as what you did, because you didn't actually actively defend the hook in those last 10-20 seconds before the actual stage went over. Like they were gonna hit that second. They were gonna die. So it essentially was as if you just kind of didn't have any presence on the map. And when you have a build like you do, which is all about getting pressure from downing and hooking people, it's like you don't have any perks at all. You were almost, besides Coup, funnily enough, besides Coup and sort of Stabiffle, you were almost a 0 perk Andy in this match because you didn't want to chase and you just wanted to chill at the hook the whole match. Proxy camping is a good tool. It is one of your catch-up tools. Camping is one of your catch-up tools. But keep in mind that the point of camping is to guarantee extra phases out of survivors' hook states, like extra hook phases. And if you're not doing that, there's no point to do it. If you're not doing that, there's no point to do it. Your second thing, which is a little bit more minor, but it's something that I definitely saw in this match, your second takeaway is that you were very indecisive. Like, there were so many times where, like, there were survivors around you, and, like, you didn't... Like, it's okay to do kind of, like, a little mind game, like, little, like, back and forth, where you're like, okay, well, I'm going to switch sides, because if I switch to this side, I catch up a little, and I kind of deny her access to that pallet over there. Like, that's okay. But, like, you were doing it, like, you would switch sides on one loop, like, 4 or 5 times, and that is excessive. You gotta commit. You gotta commit to that. Because, like, remember, like, chases in Dead by Daylight, 30 to 40 seconds on average. If it starts hitting 50 plus seconds in a chase, you're kind of wasting time. And time in DBD is gen time. And a lot of those chases are extended because of like bad map RNG, or like you didn't bring good chase perks, or you're playing an M1 killer without a good chase power. But to this was like, you can waste your own time in chases too. Like you were trying to rotate the loop like 4 or 5 or 6 times and changing the momentum 4 or 5 or 6 times. That adds up. That adds up. And like when it adds up, like it'll only add like 10 seconds. But that's like, you know, if our parameter here, or if our limit is like 50 seconds-ish is when you need to leave a chase, that's a fifth of your time in chase. Just doing this, you know, just winding back and forth, you know? So you don't want to do it too much where it starts adding to your chase time in a detrimental way. And just in general, you know, even just outside of that, excuse me, outside of that very, very specific instance, like there are plenty of situations where like Nia was on the gen in the street, but you had somebody on hook nearby, and then Rebecca was over by the yellow house. So you just didn't want to chase Nia, you didn't want to defend the hook, you didn't want to go over to her, like you just didn't do anything. Like that lack of commitment is time, and match time is gen time. Match time is gen time. So not committing to anything cost you there. So be a little, even if it means like potentially like not being as efficient as possible, sometimes it's better to just hold W at them, let them smack you in the head with the pallet, and at least get a pallet out of the way. At least you're pressuring something, right? It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. So that was the 2 main things I saw. Because your build is great. Your add-ons are fine. It was just that, like, you overused proxy camping while also not really getting what proxy camping was for, and also just general indecision. So yeah, those were the 2 main things.